Hello, how are you? Today I brought you a very easy, delicious, and super quick cookie recipe for you to make at home, low in carbohydrates and healthy. This recipe has no sugar, no butter, no wheat flour. You're going to love it. It's very easy, uses just a few ingredients, and turns out delicious. Stay until the end because you won't want to miss it. If you love easy, quick, and healthy recipes, you're going to love this channel. Take the opportunity to subscribe and remember to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss anything. There's a new video here every day and you're going to love them. Let's start our recipe. And just a reminder, the ingredients, their quantities, and the nutritional information will all be down below, in the description and in the first pinned comment, as always. So there's no way you'll miss it. The first ingredient in our recipe is the egg. I'm going to beat the yolk first. I'll pierce the yolk here with this whisk so we can mix the white and the yolk together really well. And I'm going to add the vanilla extract right now to make sure it gives that wonderful aroma and delicious flavor. Remember, I have a video here on the channel talking more about what happens if you eat eggs every day, whether eggs raise cholesterol or not. I'll leave all of that down below in the description for you. I'm going to add the baking sweetener to the egg here. As I mentioned, this is a low-carb recipe, so we'll need to use a baking sweetener in it. But if you're not particularly concerned about that, if it's not really an issue for you, just remember that you can always swap it for honey, brown sugar, or demerara sugar, and it will be exactly the same amount in your recipe. But that will increase the amount of carbohydrates, calories, and so on. I'm going to give all of this a good mix now. And if you love snack recipes, cookies, different things that are low in carbs, go ahead and give this a like, and I'll come back and make more recipes like this for you. Now, I'm going to mix this mixture here into the peanut flour. You can use any low-carb flour you want as long as it's a more moist low-carb flour. For example, like almond flour, peanut flour, nut flours always work, walnut flour, cashew flour. If you want to use flaxseed meal, that will work too. The only exception is coconut flour. If you choose to use it, the amount won't be the same because it's a much drier flour. It's not as moist or as oily as the others, so you'll have to use a smaller amount. Remember that I have several cookie videos here on the channel and I'll leave them down below in the description. Because when it comes to low-carb flour, the best thing is to always use a recipe that someone has already tried, like I have here, so you can be sure it will work out. Because sometimes you end up using a lot of ingredients since it absorbs a lot of liquid. So it's always better to add it little by little. So look, we're forming our dough here, mixing it well. And tell me which flour you're going to use. Are you going to use peanut flour like I am, or almond or flaxseed? Let me know down below how you're going to make it. Look, so the dough turns out like this, with this wonderful texture. What I like most about this dough is that you don't need to add any more oil or anything like that. Just the natural fat from the nut flour and the egg already gives the dough this beautiful consistency. I've got a baking tray here, and I'm going to put some parchment paper on it to make sure nothing sticks. So I'm going to take a bit of the dough here so we can make the balls. Then you just flatten the balls to give them that real cookie shape. Now we do this to give them that nice mark, and mark them in the other direction too so they look like homemade cookies. I'll keep making some more here, and then I'll come back to tell you how many we got before putting them in the oven. Hold on. Look, it takes about 15 to 20 minutes for these cookies to be ready, and halfway through, I flipped them over to brown the other side. So after about 7 minutes, I flipped the cookies, let them brown on the other side, and then they were done. I waited for them to cool so I wouldn't burn myself. Come with me and I'll show you what they look like inside. I'm going to grab a cookie here so you can see how nicely golden it gets. And look inside, see how it turns out. When you take it out of the oven, it will be even softer. And as it cools, it will start to look more like a real cookie, just like those homemade cookies. Look at that wonderful texture, it's perfect. Another detail is that if you don't want to use vanilla extract, you can use orange or lemon zest. It will still be low carb and will change the flavor. Tell me specifically what you're going to use to give it flavor and aroma. I would love to see your comment. Like the video because that helps me too, and share it with anyone who would enjoy it or needs it. Let's spread this chain of kindness together. That's what I want for the channel. And now let's try. It's wonderful. It tastes like vanilla, really good, very smooth. It goes perfectly with coffee. Make it and you'll love it. See you next time. Bye. I'm going to eat a little more.